too often over here on this side of YouTube do we put emphasis or shine light on the wrong type of women to date, really to call them out on some of their bad character traits or unfavorable character traits, but not today. Today is going to be a little different. Shout out to the man, the fitness guru, Bricks Fitness, somebody I've been watching on YouTube since he posted that viral video showing him looking like how I look today to the fit man that he is now. I've been watching this man for many, many years on my in and out journey of trying to get back in shape my damn self. But he got this video right here titled 11 Reasons Why I'm Marrying This Woman. I want y'all to check this out.
All right, so I want this video to be kind of conversational. I want this to be like big bro to little bro or bro to bro, right? And the reason why I'm making this video is because I want to share my opinion on things that men should, who share my values. Let me say that. Men who share my values, things that they should be looking for in a potential life partner, if that's what they're looking for. Let me say this. I've had 2 failed marriages. I've had plenty failed relationships. I've also spent a lot of time learning myself, healing, therapy, meditation, like really addressing my shit. And I think that qualifies me to share my opinion on what I think a brother with the values that I have, right, should look for in a potential partner. It didn't take me long to figure out that this woman was the one I wanted to spend my life with. Let me also preface that this video may trigger some women and even some men. So now that that's out the way, let's talk about the 10 reasons why I'm going to marry my now fiance.
Before we get deeper into this video, I want to say something that he mentioned here in regards to him not taking long to know that this was the woman that he wanted to marry. I wish he would have gave us a time frame. How long did he know? How long did he wait until he decided that this was the woman that he wanted to marry? Was it 6 months to a year? Was it a year to 2, 3 years? We need to know, because there's this debate going on that a man shouldn't take no more than about a year to know whether or not that he wants to marry the woman that he's currently with.
The first reason, we share very traditional values, right? Her aspirations in life was to be a great mom and a great wife. That's what she wanted to do. That was her dream, right? I'm a very traditional man at this stage in my life. I want to be the provider. I want to be the protector. I am very aligned with gender roles.
All right, let's talk about that, because he said something that sounded very specific. He said that at this stage of his life, he's a very traditional man, which sound like to me that he hasn't always been a traditional man. But I like the part about him saying that the woman that he chose to be with, her aspiration was to be a good mother and to be a good wife. Even with the negative outlooks that we've had on men getting married and the potential benefits, if any, I still aspire. I still have always wanted to be a good husband and a good father. That won't change.
I think relationships are like businesses. Everyone needs to have a job and be really clear on their roles in order for things to function properly.
I agree.
Now, in my relationship, the roles are pretty traditional, but that doesn't mean every relationship has to be like mine. I just want to add that I know men who are stay-at-home men, right? And their wife makes all the money, and that's fine. If that works for them, I love it for them. That's just not for me. Not only do we share the traditional family dynamic values, we also share the religious values, right? Spiritual values. We also share financial values. So there's alignment there foundationally, which I think is very important. The second reason why I'm going to marry this woman, she was raised in a very strong 2-parent household, and that was very important to me. She has a very good relationship with her dad. Her mom is very respectful to her dad. They've been together for a very long time. They've been through ups and downs. So she's witnessed what it takes to last in a committed marriage, right?
Now, I can't help but to wonder at this point, where did he find this woman? And where does one find a woman like this if they're looking for the same sort of values, if they're looking to settle down? Because this is so specific. To find themselves a woman that saw the example at home, saw how respectful her mother was to her father, saw that that relationship was strong and that they are still together. Not only is that a rare find, but it's a rare find when it comes to the type of woman that you want. We're going to talk more about that later.
are perfect, whether things are not perfect, she witnessed that at home. She also has a lot of love and respect for her father. And her father and I share a lot of the same characteristics. So she's very much used to a man with a strong personality, who's very strong-willed, very focused, very hardworking man. That's just what she is used to. So that was key for me. Reason number 3, she's a Proverbs 31 woman. And if you're not familiar with that verse, she is a woman of solid character. She is very virtuous. She is a woman of high noble character. She's very clear on her values, and she doesn't compromise them for anyone, including me. And I love that about her.
Okay, so if he's saying that she's a Proverbs 31 woman, that makes me wonder if she's a real God-fearing woman, if she's a woman that's in the church every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Did she go to church school when she was younger? I'm questioning that right now.
She stands on her principles. She carried herself like a wife even when she was single. And you don't see that nowadays. Most of the time...
I gotta pause that for a second. I might be pausing a lot in this video, y'all. I will have it linked down in the description box below if you want to stop watching my reaction and go finish the video for its entirety yourself. But that right there is something that if y'all have followed me long enough, y'all have heard me say 100 times. That you gotta live as if you are a wife before you become a wife. That you gotta live as if you are a husband before you become a husband. You move when it comes to a relationship at any stage of your life, whether you're in your 20s, 30s, or 40s, will 6 times out of 10 will determine the outcome of the relationships that you have in the future.
Most of the time, these women, when they're single, they are outside. Shorty was never outside. Number 4, she doesn't like attention from social media. She has a very small Instagram account that is private. She actually has more friend requests than followers. She only have a couple hundred followers. She doesn't really post herself that often. And that's something that I value. Despite me being in social media, I never wanted a woman who enjoyed the limelight of social media, that likes the attention, that kind of feeds off the attention on social media. She can care less. She don't care nothing about social media, and I love that about her.
Everything that he has said up to now aligns perfectly with who I am and what I value when it comes to a woman as well. Let's continue.
Reason number 5, she's submissive by nature. Now, I know that word is triggering to a lot of women, but here's the thing. Being submissive is not being passive, is not being controlled.
Correct.
She allows me to lead. Now, let me say this. Not every man deserves a submissive woman.
That part.
A lot of men out here talking about they want their women to submit. Like, you have to create that safe space. You have to earn 100%. The trust of that woman in order for her to submit to you. I'm not
100%
going to get in my bag about that situation, but the whole submissive terminology gets twisted out of context. It is mutual respect, but she allows me to lead. I protect her. I provide for her. She takes care of the house. She cooks for me. She does my feet. We take care of each other. She can get anything she wants from me. But the beautiful thing is, she doesn't want much, which in turn inspires me to give her even more.
Big point right there. Huge point. So glad he said that, because that's something that I put emphasis on all the time when I'm having one-on-one conversations with individuals, specifically women. I will tell them, look, the less you ask for, the less that you expect. If you're dating the right type of man, I know I might have just triggered a lot of y'all when I said the less you expect, but listen, when you're dating the right type of man, the more you will receive. The less you ask for, the more you receive. He will pour into you.
Which in turn inspires me to give her even more. And I love that. Another reason why I'm marrying her. Reason number 6, she takes really good care of herself. Her hair is always done. Her nails are always done. She works out. She eats good. This is a woman who really takes pride in her appearance, and no matter where we are. And I love that about her. That's her feminine nature, her softness. She always wants to present well because she knows she's always representing me. And I love that she considers that.
I like that he put it that way. And that's something that I think about when I see single women who do a pretty good job of taking care of their physical appearance. I think about the fact that they're not only doing that for themselves, but they're doing that for the representation of the type of man that they desire, and to make sure that they're also making him look good as well. Like I said, even with single women, I think about that. I like that he said that.
She dresses very classy.
And we also gotta tack on the most important aspect, health. It's really good for the health to take care of yourself, obviously.
See, it's never super revealing. Yes, she's attractive, but also very classy. Very important to me. Reason number 7, she's young and she doesn't have all the mileage. She hasn't been ran through by Tom, Dick, and Harry. She don't have a bunch of trauma on her from dealing with weak ass dudes who are abusive. She doesn't have any of that on her spirit, which makes her feel super light. And she has this like pureness about her
He said that so perfectly. He said that she feels light. Do you know what that means? Look, fellas, if you've ever dated a woman that is very clear that she haven't had a lot of bodies on her. I've dated 2 God-fearing women that proclaimed that they were saving themselves for marriage. One was 23, one was 27 at that time that I was talking to them. And you can feel a different type of aura around them. It was very clear that they hadn't been tainted when it came to relationships, because there was never a time where they would speak badly on a man. You know, and it's not to say that they hadn't been in relationships before, but they didn't have this negative worldview when it came to men. So every conversation that I would have with them when it came to relationships was very optimistic. You know, they didn't have any ill will towards anyone, so they didn't have this negative outlook on a desired outcome. It's a beautiful thing, beautiful thing.
Reason number 8, she has deep reverence and admiration for me. She looks at me like a superhero. But you know,
all right, hold on. Look at these pictures right quick. Let's look at these pictures. He says she looks at him like a superhero. Look at this. Oh, these are cute pictures. I like these. I like these a lot.
But the feeling is mutual. I have deep admiration for her, deep respect for her. I adore this woman. Listen, I'm getting goosebumps right now. Look, I've never looked at a woman and felt such adoration and admiration in my entire life. Reason number 9, her presence calms my spirit. Woo! We have harmony, even in the middle of conflict. Because yes, of course, sometimes I get on her nerves, sometimes she get on my nerves. But even when we are having conflict, there's always peace, there's always harmony. It always feels like we're on the same team. No matter what, whether we're beefing or not, it still feels like we're on the same team. And I think that's important.
Very important. I'm so glad that he said that, because you wouldn't hear a lot of people say that, to state that we're on the same team, right? I remember being in a relationship with this woman where we were butt heads. In my mind, the whole time I'm thinking we both want the exact same desired outcome, but we're trying to get there a different way. It's like when you can solve a mathematical equation and there's multiple ways to solve that equation. It was the exact same thing. So I would have to tell her all the time, I'm like, look, I'm on your team. And I think that's very important, to let your partner know that y'all are on the same team. I like that he said that. I like that a lot.
That's a rare thing. Extremely rare. But that's because our relationship is built on trust. 1000% trust. It's not built on love. It's not built on sex, even though those things are present. And the sex is amazing. I'm not going into details, but I'm going to respect my fiance.
I think more so than respect for your fiance would have been also respect for your future father-in-law, by kind of leaving that little portion of the talk out of this video, because he just as well might see that. And no matter how old a man's daughter get, he will always view her as a little girl. So, you know, that's just my opinion. But okay, let's hear some more.
But we have harmony, and I think a harmonious relationship was a non-negotiable for me. Reason number 10, she calls me out on my. She does not allow me to operate below my standard. If I am operating in fear, if I'm operating in anything other than my godly nature, she checks me on that.
I'm so glad he said that too. I'm so glad about a lot of things he said in this video, clearly. But I want y'all to think about something for a second. That right there is something to bring to the table. Think about it. This is one of the best things that a woman can bring to the table in a relationship, is to be able to call her man out on his BS, especially if it's a man that can sit there and take it and accept it, right? Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I have messed up. If I'm being lazy today when I know good and well that I need to get my butt up and grind a little bit harder than I could be doing, tell me, please. Because we all could use that push here and there. We can't do it by ourselves.
She has no problem calling me out when I'm BSing, when I'm vibrating on a low frequency. She will call me out. And I love that because I need that. Reason number 11, she is 1000% my type. She is my spec. If I had to close my eyes and create a wife, she would look exactly like her. She would have her same temperament. She would have her same personality. She would have everything about her is exactly what I would create if I was to create a wife from scratch. She is my type. And I think that's important. Do not negotiate. If you look at your woman and you don't want to eat her every time you see her, don't marry her. Do not negotiate. She has to physically do it for you. I don't care what any gurus on the internet tells you, looks don't raise the kids and this and the third. I get it. That's true. Men, we are visual creatures. She got to do it for you.
I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. But don't allow the looks to be the only reason that you're with her. Because if that mind ain't as beautiful as them looks, what good is it gonna do you? It ain't gonna do none of us no good, male or female. Get them out. Just toss them. Just toss them to the curb. That's where they belong.
And you got to think about how she's gonna look 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years from now. Look at her mom. Look at her mom. Use that as a guideline. But you got to have that physical attraction. It's important. And that polarity is important. She's deeply in her feminine. I'm deeply in my masculine. We have our roles. We have an understanding of how things go. And we're not letting the opinions of social media or our friends or our families have anything to do with the way we exist in our relationship. Period.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I feel like any man that is watching this that has any desires to want to be in a serious committed relationship, start a family, get married, but has struggled to really see an example of what that foundation looked like, look no further. Not going to look the same for everybody, but again, if you're someone who struggled to even have an idea of what are some of the characteristics that you and or your future wife should have, this right here is that example. What are y'all thoughts? Leave your comments, thoughts and opinions down below, and I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. See you.